Okay, so I'm still super uncomfortable with starting these videos, and I think it has almost been a month since my last sharing video, and I'm completely out of, how do you say it, out of my flow. It just feels awkward, as always, to do videos, and we're in the same cycle where I think, oh, I should do something more valuable, I should keep talking, and then I feel like I'm bothering you with worrying about that, and then everything explodes in my head because it feels like I can't do anything right. But the cool thing is I finally got a super happy sharing video with good news. The good news for myself, actually, not for you or oh, I feel like I'm screwing this up majorly. So the thing is, I found a house. Not in Berlin, but in Freiburg, which is a city in the south of Germany. And pooh, it's a whole story of how it changed. At a certain point, I was so frustrated with Berlin, and I thought, what do I really want? And what if I stop focusing on Berlin, but look at the essentials of what I'm looking for? So I I got the whole thing brought back to the essentials, and I realized actually Freiburg might be just as well a good option, and it has more nature than Berlin. It's just in the middle of the mountains and it's really beautiful. But I still wasn't sure, so I spoke about it with my boyfriend, and we decided that he would just be applying for jobs in both cities, and we'd let the universe decide. And like the first job he applied for in Freiburg, he got it, and within a few days actually, after having the how do you call it, the talk for your job applying thing, and I get so distracted because I feel so ugly today, and like I shouldn't be filming myself, and maybe I should put a paper on my screen or something. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to hold a paper on screen the whole video, so I'll just be watching camera only and not watching at my own face. I could of course turn off the screen, but the lighting is very bad today, so I need my screen light to make this video not super dark. Okay, I'll try to get back to the story and leave my judging thoughts for what they are. Keep doing this, at least until people are telling me, Luz, please stop, because your sharing videos are no use. And now nobody sees them, so I still don't know if they're complete shit or they actually can help people. So he got a job, and then we went to Freiburg for the past 2 weeks to find a house, and oh, it has been such a magical journey. I felt very scared because I've always had so many issues with finding a house, and I've already wanted to leave Groningen for a year and a half, and it didn't work. But before we went there, I was to sort of spiritual retreat weekend with Bentino Montesaro, I don't know. And it got me in a really good vibe, and he says that 2016 will be a year of accelerated growth, and that everything will be so much easier because the energies are just more right. And I'm starting to feel it. 2016 has already been so wonderful to me. And I just want to, I don't know how to say it, dive in and experience this and be open to the abundance that can go my direction this year. So that helped me to stay a bit more calm during the house search. And we had we couch surfed for the biggest part, and we could stay at the apartment of the colleague of my boyfriend. And we had such a luxury. Like, we had our private room the whole time, and we didn't have to pay for it, and everybody was being so kind to us. At the same time, everybody was telling us that it would probably take months before we would find a house, and that the house market was really crazy in Freiburg. Like, we were looking for houses that to me are like super expensive. Just 3 rooms apartment for €1,000 rent, and still there were every time at least 10 people visiting the place, and you'd had to hope that they would contact you back and tell you would get a house. But we did get one. We got a fucking favorite house, and it feels like such a manifesting miracle, and I don't know how I did it, but I'm so glad that I did. And on my way there, I had so much synchronicities happening, which I think I won't go too much into detail. If you're interested, just ask me. I'll write some more about it below this video. But it was also super magic. Yeah, so in some way I feel really happy that that happened. And after we signed the contract, we drove back to the Netherlands, and I just returned home yesterday evening because I also visited my parents and my parents-in-law and my sister and my grandmother-in-law. And oh, that's my mobile phone. Sorry. I feel a bit weird now because I've not been working for such a long time, and I feel not at home here anymore. I feel like I left home when I left Freiburg, which is of course a great thing, but it still will take a month before we can move there. But the good thing is, to get back to the business stuff eventually, it has been a really great thing that I didn't work for such a long time. And I'm so glad that I could feel okay with not working, and that I could give myself this sort of holiday pause break thing in my working days, because I had just been getting so little results, and I think it was draining me too much. And now I feel a bit more rejuvenated, and I'm looking forward to like super slowly and unproductive working this month. And I can completely allow myself to do that. There's no voice in me that is like, oh, you should work harder, which I've had for the past half year. And I've put some systems in place, and I'm just collecting newsletter subscribers for Commit Happiness, and that's just a process that takes some time, and it's some time before our YouTube videos will rank better. Just before we left, I did a lot to improve the ranking of our videos, and it's starting to work. But it's a process that takes time, so that makes it easier to feel comfortable. Like, when I was away, I sold 1 e-course, so I didn't have to do anything, and whoop, there's €50 in my bank account now. And of course it's nothing, and it's not something with which I can sustain myself, but it is pure magic that can happen without you doing anything anymore. And because I didn't put any effort in my company, I can really feel grateful for the €50 instead of thinking, oh, it should be so much more, and I put in way too much effort for just €50, blah, 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 blah. So I'm in a happier place now. And it's still, it's a weird period because of the moving, and everything is uncertain, and I have to get a lot of paperwork and stuff like that figured out. But it's finally there, and we find a place, and I'm looking forward so much to working in my new home, where I can have my own office place and have my own sleeping room, and just, I have the space for the creative process and self-care and everything I need. And we can even have rabbits in the new house. And that's something that I like, but a month ago I really felt that my inner child just needs rabbits, and I feel glad that I can now give it to her. So it's UPA Unproductive Work Month here at Life of a Hippie CEO, and we'll see what it brings. I'm not going to make much plans. It's already about 2/3 of January, and now I'm going to do my monthly planning thing. And I love how it's going, and I love that I can be a bit more relaxed this time. And in March, I'll go right back to productivity, crazy product making, and I'm looking forward to that too. But I'm also looking forward to not having to do that right now. See you next week.